for Michigan, and Knight Formal Wear, providing over 40 styles of formal wear to northern Minnesota, where elegance and service are a tradition. Good evening and welcome to WDSE TV's live telecast of the Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra under the musical direction of conductor Young Hu. Tonight's concert is made possible through the gracious assistance of the American Federation of Musicians, Local 18. Here on this Saturday evening, as we are about to bring you a live telecast of a concert by the Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra. Young Hu is the music director and conductor of the orchestra, and this is his first appearance actually with our orchestra in a Pops concert. Each season the orchestra brings you 7 concerts in its Masterwork series of standard classical repertoire and 3 Pops concerts. And Mr. Hu has, of course, been the music director of the orchestra now for 2 seasons, but this is the first opportunity he's had to lead the orchestra in a Pops concert. Tonight we have Americana for you. We have a great concert, and it'll be a lot of fun with a lot of interesting and exciting surprises along the way of music mostly by American composers. Not entirely. We'll tell you about all of the music as we go along. Another thing that will be happening tonight is that Young Hu himself will, throughout the course of the concert, especially during the first part, the first half of the concert, talk with you and with the audience here in the Duluth Auditorium about the music and a bit about his own experiences and what this music means to him. Mr. Hu was born in China, but he's now an American citizen. And he's chosen this music to represent various aspects of America and American culture and American musical life. And he will tell us something about what American music and America means to him, and that will be an important and a moving part of this Pops concert tonight as well. The concert gets underway with a Pops Hoedown. That's the piece by Dick Heyman, and we'll have that first, and then after that we go to Duke Ellington and Take the A Train. We'll move from that to a piece celebrating the Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year began just a few days ago, the Year of the Ox, and we'll hear more about that too from Mr. Hu later on during the concert. But a piece called Chinese New Year Festival by a Chinese composer, Wanqi Li, will also be featured on the program. We go from that to another American composer, Morton Gould. And Mr. Gould has composed a number of spirituals for orchestra. We'll have one of those on the program tonight. We'll finish the first part of the concert tonight with the popular and much loved Rhapsody in Blue by George Gershwin. And our piano soloist in this wonderful piece for piano and orchestra is Beth Gilbert. Tell you a little bit more about Beth Gilbert later as well. We'll hear Rhapsody in Blue closing the first half of the program. And then during the intermission, and of course this is live, we will have an intermission here at the auditorium, but on Channel 8 we'll be bringing you Karen Sunderman visiting with Mr. Hu and with Susan Bunce, the general manager of the Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra. They'll tell us something about the symphony outreach activities, how the symphony tries to do educational and outreach activities in our community, and what they've been doing recently in that way and what they plan to do in the future as well. After intermission, we'll be back here for the second half of our live broadcast, and it will get underway with a musical quiz, so sharpen your musical wits and maybe your pencils and play along with the members of the audience here in the Duluth Auditorium, as we'll have some brief excerpts performed by the orchestra, which then excerpts of pieces that might be programmed on a Pops concert. Members of the audience here will be asked to identify those pieces, the composers, and perhaps also a movie or a television program with which those pieces have been associated. So you can play along with the members of the audience. Barbara Riles will be the mistress of ceremonies for the quiz and for some of the other activities here in the auditorium as well. After the musical quiz, we go off to the stadium for the football game. A football game between Yale and Princeton as depicted in music by one of America's great eccentrics and greatest composers, Charles Ives. Charles Ives' Yale-Princeton football game. And of course, in a football game, You usually expect something during halftime, and indeed tonight we will have perhaps the expected band in the form of the Duluth Central High School band joining us for halftime during the Ives football game piece. That'll be a lot of fun, and you'll enjoy that. Once the band is out on stage, they'll stay on stage and continue to be a part of the concert as we move on to the Tchaikovsky 1812 Overture, not by an American, but the kind of music that you're likely to hear maybe on an outdoor concert on the 4th of July in a lot of American cities and parks when we celebrate America and celebrate music. The concert concludes with Irving Berlin's God Bless America. So we'll have all that music for you live here tonight with the Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra. The concert will be getting underway in just a moment. As I mentioned before, Beth Gilbert is going to be our soloist during the Rhapsody in Blue of George Gershwin. Beth Gilbert has been the principal keyboard player of the Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra since 1987. She is a member of the music faculty at the University of Wisconsin-Superior, and also for the past many summers has been on the staff at the world-famous Interlochen Arts Camp in Interlochen, Michigan. Diane Balco, the concertmaster of the Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra, is on stage now as the orchestra is tuning up. Most of the members of the audience are in their seats, and we're getting ready for the first part of this live Pops concert, Americana, on this Saturday evening here from the Duluth Auditorium.